Hello, this is Benjamin, and my final project is Raw, an Android version of the board game of the same name. Raw is a 3 to 5 player board game that is auction-based, where various tiles are acquired during auctions and scored at the end of each of 3 epochs. There's a description on Board Game Geek, and my source code is on github.com. Currently, there is an iOS version for Apple tablets. There's a desktop version for an academic who was testing neural network AI, and there's my version. Version 0.1, based on material from last quarter, is primarily text-based with the goal to implementing game functionality. Version 0.2 is based on current quarter, and the primary change was to use graphical elements, make use of multiple languages and layouts and other features. Version 0.3 will be based on material from next quarter, and hopefully there'll be a version 1.0, a commercial version to be released to Google Play Store. Here's a screenshot from the iOS version, as you can see, very graphical, with the auction tiles up for auction in the center and the 4 players in the corners, and room for a 5th player in the top middle. Here's a screenshot of the desktop version. You can see the sun tiles that each player has, the tiles available for auction, and if anybody had acquired tiles, they would be here below their sun tiles. Here are screenshots from version 0.1, with the leftmost being the new game screen, the second to left being the main game screen, and the 2 right ones showing information, the score, and the tiles currently acquired by each player. As you can see, very textual and not very interesting, especially compared to the board game or the 2 other computer versions. We'll go to emulators for version 0.2. As you can see, my first step was to get an icon instead of the generic Android icon. We start up, it has a splash screen with an animation in the center during loading, where I scaled it out and went from alpha 0 to alpha 1.0. We start a new game. This remains fairly textual, but here on the main game screen, we start using graphics in place of the various items, and I can draw, and this shows what is happening. Bassett, we have a new auction. An auction started, so I get a chance to bid, and I will pass. And it says Ben passed, and the auction continues. Now I draw a raw tile. Newest passed. I will bid a small number, and I won the auction. We can see a malfunction in that the sun tiles I currently have left are 5, 8, 13, but it's showing 2, 5, 8, so that's a bug I'll need to fix. We continue. I will now start an auction again. The other players bid, and I cannot bid the lower tiles, but I can still bid 13. I win the auction. I have to resolve some disasters, and I had to remove, this is a plural string. If I, actually it's not, sorry. I resolve that. It comes back to my turn. I start another auction. I bid 8 now. And on my turn, I can use one of the God tiles I acquired. This is a plural string. If I only had 1 God tile, I would exchange up to 1 God tile instead of tiles. But because there was many, it says exchange up to 2 God tiles with an S. I'll cancel out. And we can see here in the status it's my turn. I'll draw. It says I drew a raw tile. Anubis passed in the auction. I pass. Everybody passed in the auction. And then we can exit out. And the game was saved as part of that. We go here to show that we kill off the activities. We go back and start it up again. And this time we will resume the game, and we can see that it's in the same state where some of my tiles are used and the other players have nothing, and we're still in Epic 1, but 3 raws have already come out. I'm going to go over to settings. Let's resume again. Okay. We go to settings, and we'll change the locale to the language to Spanish. I also have French language. Nope, sorry. Language is Espanol. And we go back to raw, and we can now see that the language is in Spanish, and again resume. And again, player names, the status, various things are all in Spanish. We'll go back to English. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. Oh, no. Here we go. Change this back to American English. And bring up the raw screen again. And we're back to English. And as we resume the game again, you can see that instead of the textual representation, we have the sun tiles, and the game tiles are graphical representations. The sun tiles are actually, the image is just the background with the number being text with a custom sun image view class, which has an overriding onDraw function that draws the text in the center of the image. We can go to tiles, and this shows the tiles that players currently have. Currently, I have a certain number of tiles, and you can see the up button here. But if we rotate, give it a second, we can see that the text has changed in size due to the different layout on landscape. The text is larger, and if we go back to portrait mode, they will shrink. I was hoping I could also transpose the row and columns in this, but I wasn't able to find out how to do that. And instead of text describing these columns, we have various graphical images, monuments for the 8 types of monuments, civilization tile for the 5 types of civilizations, and the other kinds of tiles. And then pressing the up button, we go back to the main game screen. I'm going to go to the other emulator that I have. Here we're almost at the end of the epic, because we have drawn 8 out of 9 raw tiles, and I'll just continue until its epic ends. And immediately brings up the score screen, which is similar to the tile screen. We have our previous score, everybody starts with 10, the various categories, and their new score. And again, we can change the layout, and it will go to bigger text. Again, I would have liked to have transposed the row and columns for the portrait mode. Should go back here. Let's try this. There we go. And again, we have a up button, and the game continues for 3 epics. Epic 1 is over, and now we can see we're in Epic 2, and everybody has their sun tiles again. So the various things that I was able to implement include animation, a custom image view to do special drawing, multiple layouts, multiple language, and other features. and hopefully be able to, there's still much work to do. I would like to use touch and gesture, but I was unable to, and some kind of networking. But hopefully I can complete those in version 0.3. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.